So good morning, John Pullen with DEA and the Rocky Mountain Division. We're here on the scene of an underground nightclub where over 300 federal law enforcement, along with our local partners from El Paso County and Colorado Springs PD, executed an enforcement operation this morning. It's a drug investigation. We seized quite a number of guns and took a number of people into custody. I think what I'd like for people to know as a result of this operation is that Colorado Springs is waking up to a safer community today.
Shalom. First of all, I think about to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakadash. Double on this to teach the others and apostle, great Muslim, likewise brothers, putting out this truth. Faithfully fearlessly feeding the sheep and you brothers and sisters. Tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson title, From Mirth to Face in the Dirt. And I'm going to show you a clip that I found, recently, actually today really, in regards to these operations that's taking place across Great Babylon, America. And we've warned these jakes out there that this is a time that Esau is looking to purge the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, okay, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, okay? And you're going to see that these operations are all over Great Babylon, America, and there's more of them, and you can hear a lot about them. Before we go into the video, let's go into the book of 2nd Ezra 16 and start with 70, and it reads, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." Now people, while they still worshiping sweet loving Jesus, the so-called white man's idol God, in reality, if their seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they are Hebrew Israelites, which means that they have that natural fear of the Lord, Yahweh, Shema, Shai, and Esau knows who we are. Continuing, it says, "They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." Now, in this video clip, you can see how Esau is really a madman. Take a look at this.
While in Colorado, in a raid on an underground nightclub, agents arrested more than 100. The DEA says this includes members of Tren de Aragua and MS-13. News Nation's Jorge Ventura tracking this cross-country enforcement action. Jorge, what can you tell us tonight?
Well, Natasha, as the Trump administration is seeking to ramp up those deportation numbers, federal authorities are carrying out two large enforcement operations in two states nearly 2,000 miles apart and arresting nearly 1,000 illegal immigrants, including gang members, in the country illegally.
This is an underground illegal nightclub, okay? And what was happening inside was significant drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence. We seized a number of guns in there.
In the middle of the night, more than 300 officers from the DEA, ICE, FBI, ATF, and local police stormed a packed underground club in Colorado Springs, finding over 200 people inside, seizing drugs, weapons, and putting more than 100 illegal immigrants into custody. Investigators say some of the detainees are suspected members of the dangerous transnational gangs like Tren de Aragua and MS-13. And among the drugs seized, agents found cocaine in a dangerous synthetic known as 2C, a pink cocaine increasingly popular at illegal parties. Even more alarming, authorities confirm some of the nightclub security guards were active duty U.S. military members. Over a dozen service members were inside the club, either working as armed security or partying as patrons. After the raid, the DEA shared photos from inside the club showing cash scattered across tables, bottles of beer, and even a Mexican passport. They captioned the post, "Nothing good happens after 3 a.m. And while that raid was unfolding in Colorado, down in Florida, a new aggressive deportation blitz called Operation Tidal Wave was already in full swing. In just 4 days, ICE and Florida law enforcement arrested nearly 800 illegal immigrants statewide, many with serious criminal records, gang ties, or outstanding warrants. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis praising the results, tweeting, "Operation Tidal Wave is an example of Florida and DHS partnering to deliver big results on immigration and deportations."
And as you saw in that clip, okay, Jake's them are in the house of mirth, having a good time out in the club, okay, simultaneously as a was doing these operations in Colorado. They were doing operations out there in Florida, and there's other states that they're doing operation. Okay, this madman Trump, okay, sees an arrow, it means business. Okay, they're not concerned about the economy, they're not concerned about the shortages on the shelves, they're not concerned about anything other than going after Jakes, okay, so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latino. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 2. It reads, "It is better to go in the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to heart." Now, I mean, what can come out of being out in a club, you know, and there's supposed to be some underground club, you know, that, you know, they made it sound like it was, you know, unlicensed, unlisted. Then how the hell they know about it? You know, they describe drugs going on inside there, you know, prostitution, other illicit things, and as you can see, you know, they went and they grabbed all the men. You can see the girls walking out there, you know, and, you know, based on what they say, you know, I'm thinking, well, are those women prostitute, or they just went there to go dancing? However, you can see here what Esau is doing. He's making sure that he's purging, okay, the Hebrew Israelites, so that, you know, of course, there could be less men, okay, to have like a sort of like a fight back when the time comes when this man really is going to come after all of us. But you can see here, you know, here you get, you know, these Edomites all over the place doing all kinds of stuff, but you not really hear any buzz about them. All this man talks about is activities that is connected to Jakes, you know, and these are, in my, you know, humble opinion, I think these are false accusations, you know, but the outcome was they arrested 100 and something supposedly illegal Jakes. So Esau right now is going to throw any type of name or brand you as anything, you know, if you're in the right place at the right time for Esau's operation, you know, but really in the wrong place at the wrong time, okay, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, okay. And this is why we tell you, Jakes out there, you know, there's no reason for you to be out there. Nothing comes out good come out of, you know, being in the house of mirth in these clubs. And these Jakes now found their face in the dirt, okay. This is the book of Psalms 10 and Psalm verse 8. This is how Esau operates, okay. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places till he murder the innocent. His eyes are privy set against the poor. Why is he doing this against these other tribes? Okay, these laws, okay, these legislations, these things that Esau is signing in place right now, these laws are all dedicated to them having or presenting a way that they can persecute the children of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai in a legal way, okay. But you know, people are starting to see through it, okay. They're starting to see through it, and once it's been completely fully exposed, especially when he comes after the true prophets, okay, and the Lord you know, put the spirit in brothers to, you know, really lay them out of, you know, their hypocrisy, then he really is going to say, you know what, screw the laws that we have set up, okay. We're just come after you and just kill you. He lied and wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lied and wait to catch the poor. He don't catch the poor when he drawed him in his net. Esau knows, okay, Jakes like to party. Jakes them like to do things, okay. Who are the biggest drug users? Okay, these Edomites, man. So undoubtedly a lot of these, you know, especially like when you talk about Colorado, I mean, Colorado is a state full of doggone Edomites, mostly doggone milky white, pale, okay, Edomites that do drugs. They're bored as hell out there. So undoubtedly the word got around that you can come here and you can get some drugs. And who's to say that the DEA didn't go and plant drugs there or whatever case like that? This, you know, from the looks of it, nobody gives a crap, because as long as there's handcuffs on a so-called black man or a Latino man, nobody cares, including Jakes, okay, who are out here, who are saying, you know what, that's good for them, that serves them right, okay, because they want to side always with the words and the ways of the so-called white man, okay. But this is one of his traps. This is what he have his eyes. He's looking and watching, waiting for you to mess up, waiting for you to be in a situation where he could plant evidence or make up lies or stories, and then, you know, sensationalize it through his media. And that's all this is. You see sensationalism, okay? Oh, see, this is the reason why we have to get rid of these illegals. Well, who's to say that they were illegal? Prove it. Prove that they were illegal. You're illegal here, okay? You're a murderer. We can prove you're a murderer. It's all through the scriptures. It describes how this man will murder, okay, the people on this earth through the sword and this greed, okay, and this complete hatred for the children of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. But let's get back to these jakes, okay? Here you are out there, you're caught in this trap. Look at them, they're scared, okay? And undoubtedly, you know, if you are to meet one of these guys out there on the streets, you know, they'll look at you like, hey man, what the hell are you looking at? They'll want to kill you. These are the same ones that will drive by you. You know, they'll smirk at you, maybe spit at you. They'll want to assault you. But here they are, look at them. Esau's got them. Now they're going into some prison system, either in El Salvador or down in Guantanamo Bay, or maybe even some of these other FEMA internment camp here in Great Babylon, America. Great Babylon, America has a lot of them, and you people here in Great Babylon, America are going to find out, okay? It's true, okay? It's not a rumor. This is Luke 17, and verse 27 reads, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they bullied, they built. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Okay, so here it is. You could read here where, you know, during the days of Noah, people were drinking and partying, you know, while Noah was preparing for a disaster, a terror that the Lord is going to bring on the earth. Okay, and they laughed. They didn't care. The same way right now, you have the prophets who are preparing for disaster and terror that the Lord, how about you, I say, he would bring to Great Babylon, America, starting with his people, okay, known as Jacob's trouble. And our people are drinking and partying and laughing, okay? They believe that Esau is just going to come on one day and just try to come after the children of Israel. No, it's going to be over a period of time. This is how this man is doing things, gradualism. Right now, the society is getting used to him just gradually, you know, grabbing and purging Jake. So people turn a blind eye. You've seen this happen throughout, what, probably for the last 70 years, okay, since the march from the 60s, you know. And when our people go down the street and talk about the unfair treatment from the United States government, you know, and just the way things were set up in society altogether. And now all of a sudden, now you're seeing these Edomites now suddenly picking up the signs and going out there and saying, you know, they're being treated unfairly and stuff like that. They're just following the ways of Jake, you know, but we know that's going to lead into them picking up arms because they don't have the patience, you know, like Jake, and they're not the righteous, they're wicked. So the wicked is just going to do what the wicked is going to go do. Let's go to Isaiah 59 and 19. It reads, so shall they fear the name of the Lord, the Habashmashai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord, the Habashmashai, shall lift up a stand against him. This looks like a flood. Now, obviously, you know, you when you read this, you can look and you can see that at some point in time when they come against the prophets, the chosen, the 130 elect, okay, that the Lord, the Mashiach, can preserve himself, they're going to be bringing everything, you know, robots, terminators, the helicopter, the military force. I mean, they coming in heavy. And one thing when you look at it, when they said there was what, 200, 300 agents, okay, and there was about 200 patrons. So they made sure they knew the count, okay, of the amount of people that they were going to subdue, and they made sure that they had enough agents, okay, so that they can come in and they do what is called shock and awe, okay, a suppressive way in how to do it, overwhelming. You know, like when you get into a gun battle, it's going to be suppressive firing, boop, 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 and then you can do your maneuvers and eventually subdue your enemy on the other side. And this is what an example of that would have been the D-Day invasion, Normandy Day invasion, okay, and during World War II, okay, yeah, there was a lot of casualty, but what they did was just overwhelmingly went upon an attack, you know, the enemy, and was able to have that victory, you know, but it was at a heavy cost. In this case, Esau is not getting a heavy cost. When he comes after Jacob, Jake doesn't have the ability to fight back. Let's close out with the book of Habakkuk 2, and verse 1, it reads, I will stand upon my watch, which is us, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that read it. We stand out there on the highway and the byway, we do these videos, you know, in the simplest way that we can do it, so that you can understand. It's simple. We just read from the scriptures. We don't come with our own opinion. We just tell you what we see going on in the world. Brothers doing videos right now about the empty shelves. Okay, these CEOs went to Trump and say, look, man, we got roughly about 3 weeks worth of supplies before it's very obvious that this tariff is not working. But then you have a cruel Lord in place right now, and these people are going to feel the pain. It says, for the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. We're telling you, great, horrible tribulation is coming. You women that are at ease, you are going to be scared into obedience and submissiveness to a man. Okay, and it's going to be a man of the Lord, not just any punk out there. Okay, and the rest of these tribes, the comfort life that they've had is going to suddenly come. This is going to be happening to these Moabites, these Ammonites, these Hamites, okay, these Edomites, Ishmaelites, Elamites, and on and on and on with the tribes. This is the same type of purge is going to be taking place, maybe on a smaller scale, but mainly you're going to see something like this coming to your house soon, Jake. Okay, those of you who are sitting down, you know, mocking and don't believe that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai is going to bring that judgment on his disobedient children. So Lord will indeed let us edify. I'd like to close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.